Good morning, I'm Josh Kennedy. I'm a nursing student, RN to BSN student at the Mississippi University of Women, and I'm going to be giving a quick presentation this morning on the opioid epidemic we face in America. My audience today is a group of healthcare providers, starting with Ms. Erica Reiser, who is the Utilization Review and Nurse Educator and Swing Bed Coordinator for our facility, Mr. Jacob Rigney, who is our Physical Therapy Director, Ms. Leanne Horton, who is Director of Human Resources, Christina Bradshaw, who is our Discharge Planner and Infection Control Nurse, and Ms. Melissa McCombs, who is our Health Information Management Director. So the quick presentation today, it's only going to be a few minutes. I want to talk about the opioid crisis we face. So the objectives of this, real quick, just so you'll kind of know what I hope you gain from this is, I hope that by the end of this presentation, you will be able to explain some details about the opioid epidemic we're facing. I hope that you'll be able to give at least 2 facts about this crisis that we are dealing with here in America. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to identify at least 3 warning signs of abuse. So quickly, the national opioid crisis is something that we're combating on a yearly basis. There was over 33,000 deaths a year from the opioid overdoses. That's more than the Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars combined. There are more people in America that die yearly from the opioid overdose than in car accidents. And something a lot of people don't realize, there are enough opioid prescriptions written by providers in America on a yearly basis to give every adult in America a bottle of Vicodin or Oxycontin. As you can see from this graph, which trends from 99 to 2016, there has been a steadily increase in opioid overdose deaths. But if you'll see here in 2016, there's a huge spike in synthetic opioid overdoses, which is mostly synthetic fentanyl. There's over 20,000 deaths a year in 2016 just from that one particular category that make up that 33,000+ total number. Not only is it such a huge issue for the people that deal with the opioid addiction, it has an enormous financial implication on our country. The White House put out a statistic, a number in 2015, that there was $504 billion spent that year on the opioid epidemic. And as you can see, how does that directly affect us in healthcare? There was $61.5 billion spent in healthcare alone fighting this epidemic. There was $79.9 billion spent in law enforcement just trying to combat the crisis that we face with opioids. And if you'll notice, the last bullet point, that average opioid related admission to a facility is $92,400 per admission. So how can you, what signs and symptoms can you look for to identify someone with an opioid addiction? Well, first of all, you can look for needle marks up and down the arms and legs, pinpoint pupils, people that have trouble staying awake, they're always sleepy, people that are constantly itching and scratching, people that used to be social and now they're socially withdrawn, they don't want to talk to, they don't want to see people. People with dramatic mood swings, they're happy and then they're mad and they're sad and they're just all over the place with their emotions. And one thing that you can notice in the community, people that constantly have multiple doctor visits, people going from doctor to doctor to doctor all the time. And we have an EMR system developed in America now that is supposed to help speak to each other and give these doctors information when people are doctor shopping like that. But we're not quite there where everybody knows when a patient comes and saw you for their bad back today and they go down the street and see another doctor for their bad back tomorrow. we're not quite at a position, but we're trying to get to a place where we know that and can prevent some of this. So what are ways that we can help? One way is making naloxone kits available. Narcan is a drug that fights opioids on the opioid receptors and can help reverse the side effects that can cause the overdose and the accidental death that people face from opioids. To give out a kit to every person with an opioid addiction in America would cost $25.5 million, which sounds like a lot of money. But if it works, you don't have that $92,000 visit per incident, and it would save billions of dollars for us to distribute these out to everybody. Other ways are rehab facilities, detox units, and something that's really kind of gaining steam now is drug-based clinical addiction centers that help people get off of the drugs and wean them off. As you can see, there's several different drug-based treatments available, but methadone-based clinics is really gaining a lot of steam. So as you can see from the presentation, it would cost $126 per patient for them to come to the methadone clinics as prescribed and to have the methadone medications that they need so that they can get off of the opioids. At 2.5 million people who we believe have opioid addictions in America right now, that would cost us $16.38 billion a year if we had every single person go to that methadone clinic for treatment. Again, that's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when you consider the fraction of the $504 billion we're spending right now. And we actually here at our facility are in works with opening up a methadone clinic. We've been doing all the reviews, making sure that we do it right and that we meet all the criteria and that we perform it well. And we have doctors that are actually interested in having a methadone clinic locally. So that's one of the ways we're locally as a facility fighting this. So I hope that this has been a good presentation. Thank y'all for listening, and I hope you've learned something.